George Mueller, a Christian evangelist, ran an orphanage with his wife in their own rented home at 6 Wilson Street, Bristol, 1836. The orphanage grew larger, sheltering more street children under their care, from hosting 30 girls to over 300 children living in 3 separate apartments. Mueller and his wife depended on God to provide for all the kids' needs. One day, as the children were dressed and ready for school, the house mother of the orphanage went to Mueller and said, "Pastor, the morning that we have been dreading has finally arrived. The children are gathered for their breakfasts, but there is no food for them to eat." On hearing this, George asked her to take the 300 children into the dining room and have them seated at the table. The mother, being puzzled at the request of Pastor Mueller, did as she was told. George followed into the dining room where all the children were seated and waiting, and told them to stand so that he could pray. He had faith without a doubt that God will provide food for the children like he always did. Giving thanks, he prayed, "Thank you for the food you've provided, Lord. Amen." After he finished praying, there was a knock on the door. A baker said to them, "Last night I couldn't sleep. Somehow, I knew that you would need the bread. This morning I got up and baked 3 batches for you. I will bring it in." Mueller and the orphanage staff distributed and served the kids the bread. Soon, there came a second knock on the door. It was a milkman. His cart had broken down in front of the orphanage, and the milk would spoil by the time the wheel was fixed. He asked him if he could use some free milk. Mueller smiled as the milkman brought in 10 large cans of milk. It was just enough for the 300 children. In a span of 30 minutes, they had gone from not having food or any idea of where the food would come from to having enough. On witnessing this, the house mother and workers in the orphanage were mesmerized by George Mueller's faith in God and the miracle God had performed on that day.